Some of the most powerful moments in history happen when a great leader, knowing their time is almost up, gives one final urgent message. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most famous of these, the farewell address of Joshua, a military commander delivering a warning that would echo for centuries.
And this is how Joshua kicks it off. No big fanfare, just the raw, simple truth. I am about to go the way of all the earth. That's an ancient way of saying, I'm going to die. So right from the start, you know this isn't just some formal speech. This is a deathbed plea. Every single word that follows is heavy with the finality of a last breath, and he desperately needs his people to listen.
So you gotta picture the scene here. After years of brutal conflict, the nation is finally at peace. The land is settled. But Joshua, the general who led him through all of it, he's an old man now. So he calls together all the leaders, the judges, the officials, everyone who matters, because he has one last absolutely vital message to deliver. And the fate of their entire nation really hangs on what happens in this meeting.
Okay, so where does Joshua even begin? Well, interestingly, he doesn't start with the future. He starts with the past. Before he tells them what they need to do, he reminds them of what has been done for them. The entire foundation of his warning is built on memory.
And right away, Joshua does something pretty incredible. He completely deflects all the credit. This is the victorious general, and he's basically saying, hey, don't look at me. Don't look at our armies. He points them directly to a different source for their success. He says, you saw it with your own eyes. It wasn't our strategy. It was the Lord your God who fought for you. This sets this crucial tone of humility right from the get-go.
And this divine help, it wasn't just some abstract idea. No, it had a very real, very tangible result, the actual land under their feet. Joshua is essentially saying, look around you. This home, this nation, this peace, this is the physical proof of the promises that were made to you. The land itself is the evidence.
So with that history lesson fresh in their minds, Joshua hits them with a powerhouse of a question. Of all the good things you were promised, how many of them failed? The answer? It's staggering. 0. Not a single promise was broken. And this point becomes the absolute bedrock of his whole argument. The promises they've been relying on have a 100% success rate.
Okay, so because those promises were so incredibly reliable, Joshua now pivots. He moves from remembering the past to a direct charge for the future. This is the so what section of the speech. He's about to lay out a really clear, non-negotiable instruction manual for how to keep everything they've been given. And his charge boils down to 4 super clear directives. First, be strong and obey the law, no compromises. Second, and this is a big one, keep yourselves separate from the nations around you. Third, a very specific spiritual command, don't even say the names of their gods, let alone serve them. And fourth, the positive command, hold fast to your own God. It's a whole plan for national and spiritual survival. And this right here? This is the payoff for that faithfulness. Joshua reminds them of the unbelievable power they have when they're aligned with God. One of you routs 1,000. Just think about that. It's not just a fight, it's a divine mismatch. This is the incredible benefit of staying on the right path. So all of this, the history, the commands, the promise of power, it's all building to this one dramatic moment, the heart of the speech. Having reminded them of the past and instructed them for the future, Joshua now puts a choice in front of them. It is a fork in the road, and the direction they choose will define everything.
And the choice he lays out could not be any clearer. On one side, you've got the path of faithfulness. What does that involve? Loving and holding on to God. And the result? You get that supernatural strength and you keep the land. But then there's the other path, the path of turning away. This means allying with other nations, intermarrying, and eventually serving their gods. The result of that? Something sinister. They become snares and traps. So what does he even mean by snares and traps? It's a brilliant metaphor. He's saying the real danger isn't some big army attacking from the outside. The real danger is that these other cultures, which might seem harmless or maybe even attractive, will slowly entangle them, trip them up, and destroy their unique identity from the inside out. It's a powerful warning against slow cultural decay. And that warning about snares and traps, that leads us to the final, and honestly the most chilling part of his whole speech. He's shown them the 2 paths. Now he's going to walk them down the dark one to show them exactly where it ends. This is the ultimate consequence. This is where Joshua brings it all full circle, and it's brilliant, and terrifying. He uses that perfect reliability he established earlier and completely flips it. He's basically saying, hey, remember how I told you that not one good promise failed? Well, guess what? That same perfect track record applies to the threats. Just as surely as blessing followed obedience, punishment will follow disobedience. The logic is terrifyingly consistent.
And man, the language he uses to describe this punishment, it is just brutal. The nations they choose to embrace won't become friendly neighbors. No, they will become a source of constant nagging pain, whips on your backs and thorns in your eyes. This isn't a single, clean defeat he's talking about. It's a metaphor for a life of unending, agonizing irritation that just grinds you down until you are completely destroyed.
So the final warning is just completely direct. There's no ambiguity. Breaking the covenant by serving other gods will trigger divine anger, and the nation will, as he says, quickly perish. This won't be a slow fade into obscurity. No, the end would be as sudden as it is absolute.
And so Joshua lays it all out on the table, and then he prepares to go the way of all the earth. And it leaves us with this timeless question, one that goes way beyond this ancient story. When the founding voice of a nation, or a company, or even a family fades into silence, what happens to their warnings? Are they remembered and honored, or are they forgotten in the comfort of the present? That's the challenge Joshua left his people, and it's a challenge that still resonates today.